Patrick J. Kennedy, Patrick Blackett, Baron Blackett, Patrick Bauchau, Patrick Mower, Pat Miletich. More Pat Miletich, 87 of 145, the greatest MMA legends of all time, 26 of 44, the best UFC fighters who walked away from the octagon, 153, 190, the toughest professional fighters in history. Patrick Flueger, Patrick Martin, Patrick Kavanagh. More Patrick Kavanagh, 108 of 168, the best poets of the 20th century, 15 of 33, the best Irish authors. Patrick Nyarko, Pat Nevin. Or Pat Nevin, 463 of 1033, the best soccer players from Scotland, 41 of 292, the best Chelsea players of all time. Pat Martino. Or Pat Martino, 328 of 542, the greatest guitarists of all time, 13 of 135, the greatest jazz guitarists of all time, 8 of 124, the best jazz guitarists in the world. Pat Buttram, Pat Borders, Pat White. More Pat White, 56, 119, the greatest college football quarterbacks of all time, 1 of 54, the best West Virginia football players of all time, 50 of 60, famous athletes who could have dominated a second sport. Pat Harrington, Jr., Patrick O'Neill, Patrick Wayne, Patrick Malahide, Patrick Mackay, Patrick Kearney. Or 70 of 130 famous American serial killers, 2 of 15. Here are all the serial killers you didn't even know about. 12 of 41, the most prolific American serial killers. Patrick Fitzgerald, Pat Fitzgerald. More Pat Fitzgerald, 48 of 133, the best college football coaches of all time, 18 of 64, the best current college football coaches, 31 of 49, the most high-strung coaches in college sports. Patrick Corbin. More Patrick Corbin, 73 of 273, the top current baseball players, 13 of 55, the greatest Arizona Diamondbacks of all time, 28 of 116, the best current MLB pitchers. Pat Williams. More Pat Williams, 51 of 83, the greatest defensive tackles of all time, 376 of 432, the greatest defenders in NFL history, 52 of 60, the best NFL players from Louisiana. Pat Swilling. More Pat Swilling 90 of 322 people who should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame 338 of 1323. The best football players ever 77 of 119. The best Detroit Lions of all time. Pat Roberts. More Pat Roberts 12 of 29 Republicans who are the best at reaching across the aisle 23 of 31 celebrities who were in Pi Kappa Alpha. Pat Hingle. More Pat Hingle 127 of 163. The greatest Western movie stars 6 of 23. The best actors who played Commissioner Gordon 14 of 25. The best Gunsmoke actors. Pat Cooper. Patrick Wolf. More Patrick Wolf 101 of 136 famous accordionists 62 of 66 the greatest gay icons in music 34 of 48 the best ukulele players in the world. Patrick Marleau. More Patrick Marleau 135 of 191 the best current NHL players 167 of 502 the best NHL players of all time 11 of 50, the most likable players in the NHL today. Patrick Leahy. More Patrick Leahy 192 of 904 celebrity death pool 2021 271 of 302 the most influential politicians in American history 43 of 51 50 plus American politicians of Irish descent. Patrick Troughton. Pat Travers. More Pat Travers 215 of 298 the best frontmen in rock 152 of 225 the greatest living rock songwriters 124 of 210 the best metal guitarists and guitar teams. Pat Toomey. Pat Neshek. More Pat Neshek 68 of 116 the best current MLB pitchers 84 of 140 the best Minnesota Twins of all time 17 of 32 famous athletes who are vegan. Pat O'Brien. More Pat O'Brien 452 639 the greatest lead guitarists of all time 161 of 212 200 plus celebrities who went to rehab 182 of 249 famous Irish Americans. Pat LaFontaine. More Pat LaFontaine 5 of 64 the greatest American hockey players of all time 78 of 143 athletes whose careers ended too soon 3 of 273 the greatest Buffalo Sabres of all time. Pat Summerall. More Pat Summerall 1132 of 1323 the best football players ever 24 of 85 the greatest NFL kickers of all time 335 of 428 years a list of every known Republican celebrity. Patrick Macnee. More 789 of 1017 the best actors in film history 253 of 310 the coolest actors ever 173 of 239 the greatest British actors of all time. Pat Jennings. Or Pat Jennings, 38 of 103 coolest soccer players, 59 of 188 the best soccer goalies of all time, 2 of 22 the best Arsenal keepers of all time. Patrick J. Adams. Patrick Henry. Or Patrick Henry, 563, 2443, the most influential people of all time, 249, 347, the most important leaders in world history, 541 of 753 people we wish were still alive. Pat Patterson. Or Pat Patterson, 247 of 468, the greatest pro wrestlers of all time, 131 of 175, the greatest WWE superstars of all time, 76 of 157, ranking the greatest WWE Hall of Fame inductees. Patrick Rafter. Or Patrick Rafter, 271 of 1816, the best athletes of all time, 30 of 216, the greatest men's tennis players of all time, 28 of 83, the greatest male tennis players of the Open era. Patrick Beverley. Or Patrick Beverley, 4 of 54, the most hated active NBA players, 103 of 150, the greatest point guards in NBA history, 96 of 294, the top 100 plus NBA players today. Patrick Vieira. Or Patrick Vieira, 94 of 1310, the best soccer players of all time, 277 of 356, the best current soccer players, 3 of 117, the best Arsenal players of all time. Patrick Sharp. Or Patrick Sharp, 14 of 135, the greatest Chicago Blackhawks of all time, 4 of 9 NHL players who retired in 2018. Pat Mackay. Pat Smear. Or Pat Smear, 111 of 145, the best LGBTQ plus musicians, 13 of 23 celebrities and rockers who worked in record stores. Patrick Willis. Or Patrick Willis, 61 of 432, the greatest defenders in NFL history, 11 of 26 NFL players whose careers ended too soon, 15 of 154, the greatest linebackers of all time. Patrick McGoohan. Or Patrick McGoohan, 1220 of 1355, the greatest minds of all time, 14 of 75 famous actors who were almost James Bond. Patrick Kane. Or Patrick Kane, 24 of 191, the best current NHL players, 62 of 66, the most controversial athletes in sports history, 5 of 63, the shortest players in the NHL today. Pat Metheny. Or Pat Metheny, the best Pat Metheny albums of all time, 169 of 639, the greatest lead guitarists of all time, 68 of 542, the greatest guitarists of all time. Patrick Roy. Or Patrick Roy, 1304 of 1816, the best athletes of all time, 11 of 502, the best NHL players of all time, 1 of 99, the top hockey goaltenders of all time. Patrick Kearney. Pat Robertson. More Pat Robertson, the most eyebrow-raising things ever said by Pat Robertson, 24 of 160. The most ridiculous political pundits, 69 of 89 famous televangelists. Patrick Kluivert. More 144 of 1310, the best soccer players of all time, 53 of 164, the best soccer players of the 90s, 24 of 114, the best FC Barcelona players of all time, ranked. Patrick Peterson. More Patrick Peterson, 31 of 106, the fastest NFL players of all time, 65 of 432, the greatest defenders in NFL history, 3 of 146, the best LSU football players of all time. Patrick Wierciak. Pat Tillman. More Pat Tillman, 192 of 753 people we wish were still alive, 15 of 101, the most beloved U.S. veterans, 307 of 1323, the best football players ever. Pat Buchanan. More Pat Buchanan, 141 of 302, the most influential politicians in American history, 270 of 595 American public figures who are national treasures, 11 of 428 years, a list of every known Republican celebrity. Pat Riley. More the best Pat Riley quotes, 127 of 150 athletes you didn't know were conservative, 465 of 786, the top NBA players of all time. Patrick Schwarzenegger. More Patrick Schwarzenegger, 55 of 55, the most influential actors of 2018, 74 of 78, who is America's boyfriend in 2016. 9 of 21, the hottest kids of famous people. Pat Boone. More Pat Boone, 16 of 162 1970s Christian pop artists, 36 of 904 celebrity death pool, 2021 180 of 195, the greatest male pop singers of all time. Pat Sajak. More Pat Sajak, 122 of 131, the most annoying TV hosts, 5 of 52, the game show hosts with the most, 59 of 155, the best talk show hosts of daytime, late night, and all time. Patrick Wilson. More Patrick Wilson, 43 of 87 celebrities who should be A-listers, 38 of 70, the best actors from DC movies, 18 of 20 50-plus celebrities who were in school choir. Patrick Duffy. More Patrick Duffy, 47 of 146, the best Hallmark Channel actors, 103 of 461, the best TV actors of all time. Patrick Warburton. More Patrick Warburton, 562 of 1017, the best actors in film history, 222 of 339, the funniest people of all time, 1093 of 1883, the greatest actors and actresses in entertainment history. Patrick Stump. More Patrick Stump, 47 of 65, who is the most charming man alive, 401 of 439 famous men you'd want to have a beer with, 19 of 39, the best short male singers. Pat Morita. More Pat Morita, 2 of 60 the best Asian American actors and actresses in Hollywood, 224, 302 the greatest actors who have never won an Oscar for acting. Pat Benatar. More Pat Benatar, the best Pat Benatar albums of all time, 19 of 603 the best rock vocalists, 325 of 739 the best singers of all time. Patrick Swayze. More Patrick Swayze, the best Patrick Swayze movies, 108 of 310 the coolest actors ever, 81 of 149 the all-time greatest action stars. Patrick Ewing. More Patrick Ewing, 6 of 161 the best NBA players with no championship rings, 9 of 165 the greatest NBA centers of all time. Patrick Dempsey. More Patrick Dempsey, the best Patrick Dempsey movies, 43 of 188 the hottest men of 2021. Ranked 34 of 110 the greatest 80s teen stars. Patrick Stewart. More Patrick Stewart, things you didn't know about Patrick Stewart, the greatest Patrick Stewart memes, 34 of 264 the best male actors working today.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.